Alright, man, what's up? It's your boy Adam. It is the time to grind 35-day challenge. We are on day 3 of that. And I shot a little video yesterday morning on day 2. And I shot that video before I did anything. But I had slept in. I wasn't feeling the challenge and as you can see, I'm like, don't let this deceive you. Don't let me chilling on the couch deceive you. Some things have taken place between the last video and this. I thought about recording a video today somewhere on my bicycle route, but I was flying. I was going so fast today. And I'm still fat. I'm still at the exact same weight I started out at when I started getting my fitness on this year. And I keep trying to tell myself that I'm probably replacing fat with muscle, and muscle weighs more than fat, so yeah, but I'm not fooling anybody here because I just bought a new pair of bicycle shorts. And when I was looking at the size chart, I saw that they had the large, the extra large, the extra extra large, and the extra 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 large. And I said, please say it ain't so. And I got out the tape measure, the fabric tape measure. And I weighed my fat gut. Or I didn't weigh it, but I measured it. Measured the leg circumference. And look, man, the scale doesn't lie, but the mirrors, the big mirrors all over yoga class don't lie. When I'm doing the warrior pose, this warrior is packing a big belly warrior. So, and I mean, I can't hide that thing. You can't suck it in at yoga class. You can't fake it. Can't even fake it till you make it. It's out there. Boom. And, so I ordered these bike shorts. And according to the measurements, the extra, extra, extra large were the ones to order. And I'm like, no. And they came on Saturday, but they came too late for me to wear them to the gym. And the thing with Lycra, spandex, it's very stretchy. So I could have got the extra large, the XL, and probably pull them things up and wear them. But when I put on the extra, extra, extra large, I was hoping that they would fall off and that I'd have to return them. But no, they fit. And they actually fit properly. My big belly wasn't pushing the waistband down and making it flop over with my gut hanging out. So in yoga class and in the gym, when I lift my hands over my head to stretch and stuff like that, you're not going to see some big hairy pot belly hanging out over the waistband of my cycling shorts anymore. But that's a sad day. And I'm really not happy about that right now. But on the way home today from the bakery, I was flying, average of 17 miles an hour. My average speed on the way in today was 12. My average speed on the way home today was 17. I was hitting stretches where I was holding 27 miles an hour for a while. So I am getting faster. My average speed is up since I've been going to the gym. My average speed on the bicycle is improving faster by going to the gym and not bicycling, doing yoga, doing spinning class, but doing rowing machines and doing other stuff. If I could lose this 40 pounds that I'm carrying around in fat. I mean, think about it. I mean, if you want to know the difference, go for a bicycle ride with 40 pounds shoved into a backpack. And if you want to make it even more realistic, put the backpack on backwards so it's up front. Put 40 pounds in that thing and go for a ride. See how you feel. Then go for the same bike ride without that and see how you feel and see how much faster you are. So it makes a big difference. But I haven't lost a pound. And somebody on you know who you are. Somebody in the comments keeps saying you should go on Ozempic or some of these other drugs, and I'm like, you know what? If there is a fast, that is the quick ticket, they say. But I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I've heard bad things about, like, oh, I can lose 50 pounds and then my heart explodes. So I think I'll find another way. So yesterday and today, I'm going to give each day of the challenge a score, generally speaking. I said that Saturday, I felt like my score was basically a 6. Because I got up early in the morning, I went to the gym, I worked out hard, I did the whole thing, got my hair cut, went to the grocery store, grabbed some food, some things I needed, came home, and then I basically crashed. I got a couple of small things done, sitting in front of the computer here and there. But overall, it was pretty much game over after about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, minus a couple of productive things on the computer that probably took an hour apiece. So I give that a 6 in terms of, I felt like I could have done a little more. But, you got to give yourself a little bit of room to improve. Can't just start out with a 10. But I definitely felt like I did more than, definitely above and beyond the bare minimum. But yesterday was day 2, Easter Sunday. And I got a very late start to the day. And I really didn't get up and moving to do much of anything until about 12:30. And so I have a little tip, something that I've done in the past when I'm overwhelmed with things, is I decided I was going to make my primary focus cleaning up my house. Clutter, dishes, that kind of stuff. Just get caught up on things. And I decided to do it for 3 hours, and I'll set the timer. Just take my phone, take the clock app, set a timer for an hour. Focus on nothing but cleaning. After that hour is done, do whatever you want for a bit. Watch an episode of Stranger Things, go around the house, just chill. Grab something to eat, whatever. Set the timer again for an hour. See how much you can get done. Set the timer again for an hour later on. Take good hearty breaks in between. Well, at the end of the 3 hours, I got way more done than I actually thought I would. Things weren't as bad as I thought they were based on what they looked like. Not as far behind as I thought I was. So I'm a little bit like, there's some things in the house that I've been looking at. I've been living in this place for almost a year. I'm a month shy. At the end of May will be a year. So I've got one more month's rent to pay and this lease is complete. And I'll just go to a month-to-month situation. Like I've said, I've already kind of dabbled. I'm starting to bookmark places, rental places that I find. Possibly If I could find a situation where there's like an owner finance kind of a situation where I could just buy a place, even if it's a rundown fixer-upper kind of thing. But if I could somehow weasel my way into owning a spot or potentially owning a spot, I might be willing to do that. But I'm just bookmarking different things at this point. I'm not going to look at anything just yet, but bookmarking and seeing what's out there. So I did a little bit of that yesterday. So I did 3 hours of house cleaning, got my probation paperwork done, did some other organizing and digital organizing of things, and just kind of got things done. But overall, I felt like it was a 5. I definitely got more done yesterday than I thought I would do when I recorded yesterday's video. But there was a bunch of things on my list that I didn't even touch. And now I'm a little bit behind and irritated and kind of mad at myself. But it was a calculated somewhat of a rest day. And also I wanted to make my place more livable. It's not quite as tidy and perfect as I would like it to be before. I'll do a walkthrough because it's been a while since I've shown you guys some of the things I've done here. And I'll probably just go back, download the original house tour video. I'll find some pictures. I don't think I took a video of this place, but I took some pictures when the place was completely empty before I brought anything into it. And I'll just kind of show you the evolution of how I took this fairly small space and have turned it into something that's pretty cool. I'm actually cool with it for now. I mean, it's not ideal. It's not the best place. It's not even close to the best place I've lived, but I'm making it work, and it's way better than the last place I was living, and the place before that, and the place before that, and the place before that, and definitely the place before that, which was prison. So yesterday, the timer. Setting a timer. Sometimes if I'm feeling overwhelmed, and I know that if you've got something that you know is just like mind-bogglingly difficult, and you know that if you spent the next 30 hours of your life straight working on it, you're not going to finish it, sometimes that will just take the motivation out of you to not do anything at all. And you'll just let it sit. There was a situation a number of years ago. This is my best example of this. Back in the day, early 2000s, 2004, 5, 6, somewhere in that range, we were still using a lot of paper. I had paper upon paper upon paper. My bills came in the mail. Paper, and there was just constantly stacks of paper showing up on my desk. And receipts and just all kinds of things, paper. And for years, sometimes I was just so disheveled and didn't care that it would pile up on my desk, and then I'd just grab the pile, throw it in a paper box. The cardboard boxes that reams of paper come in, that kind of box. Either that or plastic storage totes, things like that. And at one point I had a stack of boxes in a closet. 10, 12, maybe 15 boxes stacked up in a closet. Full of paperwork. Full of just papers upon, paper, crazy shit. And every now and then, I would have to be in a panic rush, trying to figure out, oh my God, where the hell is that the title for my car. I'm selling this car. I'm trading it in. I gotta find the title. Oh my God, where the hell is that? Oh my God, I need my social security card because I just started a new job. And I'm telling you, like, these kinds of things, and maybe not those specific items. Oh no, I need my birth certificate for something. Just sometimes I would need an important piece of paper or some random thing. Some random thing that you would have digitally now. And I would have to start just in a panic rush, dumping out these boxes and just pawing through them like a hungry dog, digging around trying to find this piece of paper that I need. And it would always be, oh my God, I've got to find this. I got 2 days to find this piece of paper, and most of the time I'd find it. And so this one day I was just like, all right, dude, enough. And I did have a file cabinet, and I did have important things in there. And there was some organization, but it was bad. It was just bad. So this one day I was like, enough. And I just went into the kitchen, grabbed a timer off of the countertop, came into my office, turned the timer to an hour, let it run, and just picked up one box, dumped it out, and started sorting papers. I made, a separate pile, basically a separate pile for each file folder. I didn't need to grab the folders yet, manila folders. But each pile represented what was going to go into a specific folder. And when I'd have maybe 4 or 5 minutes left on the timer, I would go into a box of manila folders, grab a folder for each pile, stick the stuff in the folder. I didn't even have to label the folders yet. And then just put the sorted stuff in a neat, tidy place. And then just pack the other stuff into a box, put it away. Wait till the next time I did it again. And I tried to do this at least once a day, every weekday. The weekends, hit or miss. And sometimes on a weekday, I might do it 3 times in a day. Sometimes I might go 2 or 3 days without doing it. But the thing that I found was that an hour here, an hour there, an hour, each time it was an hour, and that was it. That was my cap. If I did any more, I would go insane. And a lot of it was just crazy amounts of receipts. I used to just save every receipt, whether it was necessary or not. That got out of control. And so it was just really difficult to go through this stuff. But within a fairly reasonable, short period of time, all of a sudden I emptied out a box, threw it away. Boom. Progress. Box number 2. Box number 3, 4, and 5. All of a sudden. And and the thing that I'm finding is, 80, 90%, I'm telling you, 80 to 90% of the stuff, you could just throw it away. Most of it, just completely no point in having this anymore. Throw it away, throw it away, throw it away, throw it away. And then I would randomly just find things like, oh my God, I've been looking for that for the last 4 years. I thought that was gone. And things would just magically appear. Random. It could just be like a random photograph, a printed photograph, or it could be just some nostalgia thing, or it could be an important thing that, oh, I'm so glad I found that. And there were things in these boxes, not just papers, but just random things found their way into these boxes that I would be like, wow, I've been looking for that for the last 3 years. I had no idea it was in these boxes. And I would say within a month, it took probably a month to do this. And it wasn't the main focus of my month. Not at all. It was a side trip. It was something that I would do if I needed to take a break from my desk and I was just sick of working because I worked from home. I just need to take an hour, a mindless hour to do something. At least that would help me clean out my closet and get this problem solved once and for all. And set a timer, an hour. Make yourself do it. Don't think about anything else. Don't answer the phone. Don't pay attention to anything else. 1 hour. An hour goes by pretty quick, but you can do a lot if you just focus on one thing. And a month later, it was done. And I had whittled down those 15 boxes of random papers and had it all filed away and sorted into a file cabinet that was 2 drawers tall. So all of that stuff was shrunk down into the essential, here are the things I need to keep. And it never got that bad again. Never even got that. I would say right now is the worst it's ever been since. And the reason for that is because when I came home from prison, there was a little bit of a mess to come home to. And it all ended up in my desk drawers. And then I've moved I've moved that desk 1, 2, 3, 4. I've moved 4 times in a year. And so when I finally got to this place where I'm living right now, and there's other things going on, so those desk drawers have not been dealt with. But it's just a few drawers on a desk. It's not 15 boxes of stuff. And there's been a couple of times where I needed to find something important, and I was able to do it within 10, 15 minutes by digging through these desk drawers because it's not completely disheveled. But when I'm done organizing that batch of papers, the number of files that I need to keep safe, and pieces of paper that I still have to have in a filing cabinet, will fit in a file box. I have a tiny little metal file box with hanging folders in it. And that's all I'm going to need because I just moved to trying to keep everything digitally. If we ever get to a point where we're at the end times, apocalypse, whatever, and we don't have any power, well, all these records and things that I keep in the filing cabinet, none of that shit's going to matter. So who cares? But the point is, yesterday I took that concept of setting a timer 3 times yesterday and just focused on my house. And I did more in those 3 hours way more than I thought I would be able to do in 3 hours. Because I was comparing it to the last time that I focused deep on my place, and I spent like 12 to 15 hours straight cleaning up this place one day. And yesterday wasn't the end result wasn't as good as that, but it was 3 hours and not 15 hours. So, keep that in mind. But the thing that stuck with me was, I'm going to use that timer concept now for the next, the remainder of this 35-day, 5-week challenge. And I am going to set a timer each day and just bang out an hour of organizing my house. Make sure I'm just going to do it once a day, including today. I mean, you see me chilling with a blanket here, and I'll get to that in a second. But I'm going to make myself spend an hour doing something useful today. I probably won't even make my bed before I go to bed tonight, because it's just not that important to me right now. But I'll probably do it tomorrow. The bed is actually a pain in the ass here to make because it's up against 2 walls. and I have to move an end table out of the way, slide the bed away from the wall. It's not, if it wasn't that difficult, I'd make the bed every day, but it's a little bit of a process, but it still doesn't take a long time. But I can deal with it for one more night, then I have to make it nice and tidy. But there's just a lot of things in this place that I want to organize at a much deeper level. And just, they're things that have been bothering me for months. And I feel like if I spend an hour a day times the remainder of the 5 weeks, I will probably get I'll probably get a lot of that done. And I think at the end of the challenge here, I'm going to be a lot happier with my place. And I'm not too upset with it right now, but I'm going to see all kinds of improvements and things that I've been looking at for months finally getting done. And then, maybe it'll be 4 weeks from there that I pack up and move someplace else and start all over again. But maybe not. So I gave yesterday a rating of 5 because it was kind of right in the middle. I felt like I did more when I woke up late and thought that it was a loss of a day. I motivated myself to get up off my ass and get to work and get some things done. But there were a lot of things that I didn't touch. And that's going to bite me in the ass this week, financially and other things. So I'm not feeling good about that. So I put it right in the middle, 5. Today, I'm going to give myself a rating of... So far, the day's not over. So I don't think I should give it a rating today. Maybe tomorrow I'll talk about today. But so far, so far what I've done today. Got up at 5. One of the things I did yesterday... I'm still giving yesterday a 5, but I got prepared for cycling today to the bakery and back. So before I went to bed, all my lights were charged, the bicycle was prepped and ready to go, all my clothes were laid out, everything was ready to go, so that this morning I could get up the alarm went off at 5, but because everything was ready to go, I laid in bed until 5:45. Then I jumped out of bed, threw my clothes on, chugged a mug of coffee, hopped on the bike and went out the door. And it was cold. There was a lack of motivation there because it was 55 degrees outside. And that's kind of like the cutoff, the limit of what I want to do when I voluntarily ride my bicycle now to the bakery just for fitness. And I felt it the whole way there. It took me 2 hours to get to the bakery today. And my average speed was about 12 miles an hour, which is about the slowest pace. I took the leisurely bike trails. I took every bicycle path. I had no energy in the tank. I was cold. When I'm cold, I can't keep a good pace. And I did break one of my personal records on one of the segments today. I can't remember which one, but so I did put some effort in on one stretch of the bike ride, and I beat a personal time record on one segment. But the rest of the ride, I put no effort into it at all. 12 miles an hour, average speed, 2 hours to get there. But then I busted my hump at the bakery hard today. I did all kinds of stuff. We had a huge delivery order, way bigger than what we've had lately. I was standing on top of a big tall ladder cleaning ceiling vents today. I mean, I was doing a lot of work today. And so productivity there was very high. I did a lot of things that I can't even, like, I'm like kind of mind blown at how much I actually did when I was there today. And, well, then it was nice and warm, 75 degrees when I got on my bicycle, sunny, to go home. And I was feeling good, and I killed it. I crushed that ride home, as I already said. Average speed of 17 miles an hour. That's the average. That's 5 miles an hour average faster than it was this morning. Crushed a whole bunch of personal records, like 6 or 7 stretches where I got my personal best time. I was holding speeds of 27 miles an hour for long stretches, closing in on, I'm still having a hard time closing in on 30 miles an hour, but got home in an hour and 10 minutes. Those flying home. Flying. And then I got home, and I'm just sitting with a bottle of water, sitting on the couch, recovering from that. And I'm starting to get my second wind. And so I'm not going to give myself a rating as to how productive and how much the grind score, 1 to 10. But it's going to be more than yesterday. And it's going to be probably more than Saturday. I mean, I've burned 6,000 calories today, so that's not nothing. But it's definitely not a perfect 10 because, I mean, the only way it could be a 10 is if I sat in front of my computer and banged out like 6 hours of work, and that's definitely not going to happen. But I am going to set that timer and bust on my house and do something, maybe cook a meal, and while the meal's cooking, clean for an hour, do something. So that when I sit down to chill and watch a movie or watch some, Stranger Things or whatever, I'll be able to look around and be happy that my house is better than it was last night, this morning. And the biggest obstacle I have right now is not sleeping in tomorrow. That's the biggest challenge. Because the way my body, like when I get up off this couch right now, it's going to feel like I'm carrying a ton of bricks on my back. My whole body's just going to want to collapse. So I might have to use ibuprofen. I might have to cheat a little bit. I might have to do something so that when I wake up tomorrow, when the alarm goes off tomorrow, I have to find something that'll make me get out of bed. Even if it means I get out of bed and sit on the couch for an hour, awake, to prevent myself from sleeping all the way to my morning meeting with a client. Just anything I can do. Get started on the laundry. Set that hour-long timer, start doing laundry, start doing whatever. But I just got to motivate myself to get up early tomorrow. That would be the biggest challenge. If I successfully just force myself to get out of bed early, the rest of the day will make itself. It may not be perfect. I'm definitely going to have low energy. There's no doubt about that. But I'm not going to the gym tomorrow. I'm not doing anything crazy physically. Tuesday and Wednesday are going to be an off day this week. I don't need to burn 6,000 calories every single day. And if I can get done and get caught up on freelance, get caught up on my design work tomorrow, Wednesday, do a couple of YouTube live streams, and maybe make some forward progress on some other side hustles, I'll feel a lot better about the stuff I didn't do yesterday by the end of the day, Wednesday. And hopefully by the end of these 5 weeks of just putting my nose down and grinding through a bunch of things, I will be able to look back and say, wow, there's a huge difference between where I am today and where I was 5 weeks ago. And maybe it's like hitting the fast forward button on a video. and seeing if, just seeing, right? You hit the fast forward button and all of a sudden you're at the end of the movie. And that, maybe I just want to take a shortcut and see if I can get there quicker. Things feel stagnant right now. And even though things are moving and things aren't necessarily stagnant, I am having this, like, things aren't moving fast enough feeling. And so if I can just break up the ice a little bit and get the river flowing again, by the end of the 5 weeks, as long as I just put my head down, set that timer. I might do that for my freelance work and some other things. Just set a timer, 2 hours. Don't do anything but this project. Don't check your email. Don't do nothing distracting for 2 hours straight. Don't even look at the text messages. Even if it's the client I'm working for, don't pay any attention to anything. Grind until you get something done. 2 hours. Then take a break. Then look at your email. Then do this. Because I go to the YouTube I go to YouTube to do something to my YouTube channel. And as soon as I hit the YouTube homepage, some clickbait nonsense or some thumbnail or some video title captures my attention. And I click on that, and then I click on something else, and I watch a couple of these stupid short videos. And the next thing I know, I'm like, I can't even remember why I went to YouTube in the first place. And I've got to close the browser window. And then 5 minutes later, I'm like, oh yeah! And so I go back to YouTube to do the thing. And I get sucked right back into the rabbit hole. But at least the second time around, I'll probably have the self-discipline to say, no! Don't watch the short video. Open it up in a new browser tab or something and hide it in the background until you're done with what you came here for. So, I just need to make a few tweaks. And tomorrow, Tuesdays, especially after working at the bakery and riding my bicycle 50 miles on top of that, that's a hard one. And if I can make tomorrow a productive day, that'll have a lot of effect on momentum and carrying momentum for the rest of the week. And I think it'll make a huge difference by the time I get to Sunday night. So with that, I'm just going to say peace out and keep this somewhat short. Let's talk to you later.